Hello and welcome back to the stream for some more Botany Manor. I'm excited to be getting back into it. I really enjoyed it yesterday. This game is pretty nice, chill little puzzle game. But yeah, I'm back. I'm glad to be back into it. I also realized I was watching back my stream from yesterday. I accidentally left the microphone for my camera on, so you could kind of hear me double, and I kind of sounded a little like a robot. But hopefully that should be off today. Looks like I turned it off. Uh, yeah. So no, none of that. So yeah, yesterday at the end we just got into the library. So let's see what's going on with that. I cannot see myself in the mirror. I am a ghost or a vampire. Thank you. And yeah, today I hope to beat the game because we're at like chapter 4 of 5. Dear Lady Green, thank you kindly for the flower books you sent for my daughters. To this day, they still show an interest in learning more about plants and painting. I am keen that my daughters have access to good education, so I hope you don't mind me putting it upon you that you might be able to teach them somehow. Um, so I guess we're a painter and a plant, so we paint the plants too. I mean, yeah, we've seen that in the painting room. Your dedication and knowledge seems so rare and inaccessible elsewhere for young girls like mine. I hope you will consider my proposal. Sincerest regards, Olive Campbell. Modern methods of teaching. Oh, there's another floor. Oh right, we did see that in the map. 4 plants in this chapter. Okay, I was thinking like last night. Okay, we got to do a puzzle there. But yeah, I was thinking last night that we had a couple seed slots left open. Okay, wonders of the night sky. I wonder what the point of these books is. I keep seeing them and then I can't do anything with them. I saw the circles of the scrolls and thought those were little interaction points. The fox and the crow. Oh wait, I should look at what plants I'm getting also. So one evening, a fox was in search of something to eat for dinner. He saw the crow sitting on a tree branch holding a big piece of tasty cheesecake in her beak. So the fox came up with a plan. He walked up to the crow and complimented her. Shiny black feathers. The crow was suspicious of the fox and kept her beak tightly closed on the cheese. The fox kept on charming the crow, describing her as the most majestic of all birds, with a big, strong beak. Oh, what a song that beak must make! It must be the song of a queen. Please, beautiful crow, let me hear it. Flattered by the piece, the crow forgot all about her suspicion and also her dinner, so she opened her beak, wide to utter the loudest caw, and down fell the cheese straight into the fox's open mouth. That is not a. There's no way that's a clue, right? Interesting. What? I vaguely recall my grandmother studying the nightfall when I was young. I wonder if night sky book then. Okay, this is getting a bit more complicated. Wonders of the night sky. Judging by the name, I don't believe this to be an edible mushroom. Sapphire gloom. Cradle fern. The past years, these ferns have been drastically declined on the blank, so I feel give up to research any changes in the environment. My friend wrote to me about the brook chalice, which made me want to research them. So there's 1, 2, 3 plants in chapter 3 or chapter 5. All right, so let's keep looking for clues then. Oh, that's the my book. Is that the... Oh. Oh, okay. I thought that I opened it, and I was like, what the heck? But no, that was just it, like, failing. So there's no seed planting things around here. There's a lot of clues, though. The hare and the tortoise. Interesting that there's, like, we're in the library, and now there's, like, storybook-related clues. And I wonder how these seeds relate to the clues. The hare and the tortoise. At midday, a hare and a tortoise took a walk together. The hare moved quickly and noticed the tortoise struggling to keep up. The hare laughed and challenged the tortoise to a race. The tortoise accepted. A course was decided and the race began. The hare immediately leapt out of sight, but then laid down to take a nap, sure that the tortoise would never catch up. The tortoise plodded slowly on, making his way towards the finish line. When the hare woke from his nap, he opened his eyes to see the tortoise crawling across the finish line. The proud hare had been so sure that he would win and underestimated the tortoise. As the tortoise crossed the finish line, he exclaimed, so instead he wins the race. Yep. Classic tale. The rising sun. I wonder if all the rest of the books around the manor are also going to be clues. I mean, it's unfortunately. Oh wait, no, I thought this was showing me that where clues were, but it was just a glitch. Yeah. Okay, the golden fish. One bright morning, a poor fisherman caught a shining golden fish. The fish cried, please let me live. I'm not a fish, but a prince enchanted by a wicked spell. So the fisherman let the fish go free. When the fisherman's wife learned of this, she demanded the fish grant a wish in return for its freedom, a cottage instead of the hovel where they lived. So the fisherman returned to the shore, and the fish granted their wish. Is that it? No. But the wife was greedy and demanded riches, a palace, and servants. All the while, the ocean became darker and the shore was black with dirt. Finally, the wife wished to be so powerful that she could grant wishes for herself. In return for this greedy request, the fish revoked all the wishes it had granted. After that, the ocean became blue again, the shore clean, and the fisherman never saw the golden fish ever again. Oh, poor fisherman. New Year's ball to be given at Somerset Hall, Thursday, January 1860. Supper is at 6 o'clock. Good. Is there something on the back? Cousin, wash your hands and accompany me. You won't find a husband at the bottom of the garden. Well, I guess they never found a husband. So yeah, I'm wondering, okay, so these books have symbols on their covers, right? So there's the sun, there's the night, there's the sun, and there's the night. There's the fish, the hare, and the crow. So these are the storybooks in here. I don't understand. I'm not sure what the order of them would be. Could be cheese. This one was night. Like, I'm wondering if it's this, and then going that, and then that. So it'd be cheese. Oh my god, I already forgot what it was. It was sun, right? No, it's night. Night. No. I'm not sure then. I think this is the only puzzle I can do right now, though. Complete Aesop's Fables. I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to determine the order of this. Sun. Sun would come before the moon then. But then there's this here that's right across from the sun. Would the map of the house help me? I'm not sure it would. Do I want a hint? Sure, I could take a hint. And also welcome to the chat. Sunset is the first. Sunset is over here, right? No, that's the rising sun, okay. So sunset is the first. Why is sunset the first? There's also no sunset. So I guess you would mean rising sun. Does it say a time of day? So that's dinner. What is this? Midday. And then morning. So it'd be sunrise, fish, hare, crow, and then night. I see. Fish, hare, crow, night. Wow, look at that. Grandma's Vault. I got the achievement. Alright, let's see. Sunset 1st of May. Red, orange, yellow, pink. Are these clues too? Sunset 22nd of May. Blue. Oh, you're all good. I was able to figure it out. Blue, yellow, pink, orange. Blue, purple, pink, orange. Okay. The London Record and Weekly Journal of Literature, Science, and Art. Lindley appointed chair of botany at University College, London. After an esteemed early career as assistant secretary to the Horticultural Society and admission as one of the youngest ever fellows to join the Linnean Society, John Lindley plans to evaluate the science of botany. He spoke thus in his inaugural lecture. It has been very much the fashion of late years in this country to undervalue the importance of this science and to consider it an amusement for ladies rather than an occupation for the serious thoughts of man. To under the value of consider it in this country to undervalue the importance of science and to consider it an amusement for ladies rather than an occupation. Lindley also challenged the Linnean classification system and proposes many changes. Nice. And then more sunsets. All right, and we got nightfall. Sunset paintings. That is most definitely for this plant. Alright, nightfall progress. I have been trying to encourage the nightfall to bloom for a little while now. I'm determined to prove it's more than just a myth. So far, I have deduced that the flower opens at sunset and only during a particular time of year. When exactly that occurs still remains a mystery to me. I shall plant a few more seedlings tomorrow and continue my research. Task for this month, monitor nightfall seedlings, um, rose planting list, collect field samples, and seed collection. Okay. Oh, and the study key. Nice. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright, to the study. Ooh. Oh, and there's another seed. Flashbanged me. My dear friend. I've been pondering these last weeks. What could be the best way to see your remarkable flora reach the wider world, since it is so seldom we are able to see our work published. Considering your uncle's reputation in the scientific field, have you considered asking him to publish your herbarium under his name? It may not give you the recognition you deserve personally, but it would be a way to reach your goal of adding to the scientific record on botany. Do consider it. I would hate for such an important research to stay hidden away. With best regards. And that's unfortunate. That's very sad. Yeah, the Better Orchids of Britain, collected by and researched by Professor J. Montague. Assisted by R. Brown. Is that the book then that I guess we did publish the book? Ooh, eggs and tree diseases. What is this one? The sapphire gloom. Oh, we get little spores. That's cute. Yeah, let's look at this right here. Kingfisher egg. Whoa. Blue heron egg. Oh, I know quail eggs. I've seen quail eggs before. I've had quail eggs. Alright, and then tree diseases. Red tree pox. If a tree is infected with red tree pox, many small red spots will be visible on the bark. It can usually be cured by adding fertilizer to the soil of the tree. Interesting. Hypoxylin causes black patches to form on the bark of the tree. It is usually a sign that the tree is lacking hydration and won't stay alive for much longer. Uh-oh. Wait, that's the tree that's in the... That's what's wrong with the tree in the main room here. Root parasite. The root parasite is a fungus that forms multiple rings on the bark and roots. The parasite leaches the nutrients that the tree retrieves from the soil. Eventually, it causes the tree to dry out and lose all of its leaves. There is currently no known cure. Uh-oh. So I guess we're gonna have to find a cure or something. Or cut it down. Bark rust is a disease that isn't very harmful to the tree. It is usually caused by excess hydration and too much sunlight. Okay, so I want is the tree diseases is a clue, but I don't know for what. I guess we have to like friggin' plant a plant under the tree. All right, Arbella, I have some more books from the department that may be of interest for your research. One I recall was a favorite of your father's. If you have any trouble when you visit the college, tell the secretary you are collecting materials for your uncle, so long as they are returned before summer ends. The other professors won't notice. Good luck with your research, Theodore. Mushroom food sources. Just like plants, fungi need food sources to grow strong and healthy. However, some fungi haven't always had access to the nutrients to the soil and have evolved to retrieve it in different ways. So then do I plant the fungus on the tree? This means that they have become carnivorous because they only acquired the nutrients they need by consuming other living organisms such as flies, bugs, and plants. Some mushrooms even get their nutrients from feeding on another type of fungus parasite. Mushrooms growing on a tree is a sign that they are consuming the tree, so you should remove them immediately. Not always the case. Yeah, so we gotta plant it on the tree. So, tree diseases, and then that. Yep, so let's get this. Let's see how we can plant this on the tree. Ah, right there. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, but then I saw like 3 spaces for. Oh, I need a pot. Sapphire bloom, yep. And then this is technically not on the tree, but there we go. Nice. We just gave the tree a steroid. They got very nice art in this game. The sapphire bloom is a widely misunderstood mushroom. It grows commonly on trees, and as opposed to popular belief, the mushroom consumes its parasites rather than the tree itself. But then what happens when the... Wait, so is it... But what about... What happens if the tree doesn't have parasites? Like, now it ate all the parasites. Then what's gonna happen? Whoa, there's so much more house over here. The trapped fairy. Dearest Arabella, I was taking a walk along a river in Somerset recently, and noticed a sight I just had to write to you about. In the water, I saw the book Chalice blooming. I never seen or heard of it flowering before. None of my books mention it. It was so beautiful. Do you have any idea what would have caused this? Ever your friend, Edith. So, notice a sight. In the water, I saw a brook chalice blooming in Somerset. Fairy painting. Interesting. Attic is locked. Cradle fern. And those are owl eggs. Okay, bank. So I guess owls are getting extinct or something? Not sure. Yeah, that's to the attic. And then, oops, I had a huge lag spike there. There's another seed there. I think I'll go to the attic first. Dear Lady Arabella, I wanted to thank you once again for your invaluable contributions during our recent meadow orchid research expedition. Your keen observations and deep knowledge of orchids was so helpful. Your dedication to the field is an inspiration to us all. I look forward to the future collaborations and the continued exploration of the botanical wonders that surround us. I will put in a good word for you with the Botanical Society. Oops, I don't want to get out of here. Okay, so yeah, so that book was the one that she published under her uncle's name. And that's the dude she went with. Rivers of Somerset. So I think this would be... What was Grandma's... What was this one? Grandma's research and the fairy painting. I don't remember what Grandma's research was. Dear Arabella, I'm writing to share with you an exciting discovery I have made in my botanical studies. It turns out that some plants are particularly sensitive to sound and seem to thrive when exposed to music or melodies from their natural environment. I hope to share more of my findings with you in the near future and would be delighted if you could join me in my research. So there's a plant that likes music. I guess it's this one, and it likes birds singing. Also because it's in the attic here. Bird calls, yeah. Oh, this is the bell tower. So I'd want the crested owl. So I'd play the crested owl for this plant. I have all the clues I need, I think. Oh, there's more here. River swimming season. Do you remember? Is the river cam? Wait, no. I started reading the wrong way. Dear members, we want to make sure you can all enjoy swimming this summer, so we have cleared the most popular rivers in Somerset of all aquatic weeds, so that's why the Somerset one can't grow. The river Cam, the river Chew, and the river Somer have all been cleared of weeds thanks to the service of the... Thanks for your continued support and thanks to your monthly donations. And then health and safety warning. It has been brought to our attention that the factory of Barton Ironworks has been illegally dumping scrap metal in rivers across Somerset. These rivers are now polluted with rust, making them unsafe for swimming. Do not swim. The reform was also affected by the waste. Though, oddly, the river is completely clear of pollution, we are still researching what led to that effect. So, it likes iron. No, this one needs bird calls and river rust. I don't think I put fairy painting there. I guess grandma's painting is in there. Or grandma's research. So, book chalice. Brook chalice. There's fairy painting. I don't know what the fairy painting would be. It looks like it might be the nightshade, actually. Let's see. Or not the nightshade, but like the evening one. Where is that painting? Yeah, that looks like that. So that's the fairy painting. All my clues set. So what is this one? Cradle fern. I wonder what happens if I get the plant before. I thought it said it was in the attic. Before I read any of this, I'm gonna go try and make it. Oh look, it's got the little spirals. It's like in Uzumaki by ECD EGF. ECD EGF. Look at that. I got it without the last clue even. The cradle fern is used by the crested owl as nest, and in turn the plant has grown dependent on the owl's chime-like call to grow. I don't know where to stick this thing. There we go. There's so much stuff about this aquatic weed removal. Do you have a pond? Do you want to swim in it? Is it covered in slimy weeds? We specialize in removing the following weeds: algae, Himalayan balsam, brook chalice, and duckweed. So they removed the brook chalice. Brook chalice is a weed, so then why is it so hard? Oh, I guess seeing it bloom was the issue, but having it grow wasn't the issue. To Somerset Society for Wildlife Protection offers a petition to be presented in the honor of the House of Commons. In recent years, hunts have been taking place near the Somerset rivers. Tragically, this has led to the decline and even extinction of some bird species. No longer can we hear their beautiful chime-like calls. We call upon the government to regulate hunting near the rivers of Somerset. We ask that they represent breeding times or respect the breeding times of wildlife. If you agree, please sign below. No expense attends signing. So then that would be the petition. This is the one that's in the attic. I have all the other ones, right? Yeah. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything is in the attic, and then there's one in this bedroom. Maybe want to research them, and then I have the attic key. So let's look here, and then we can go to the attic. There's 4 plants. I thought there was 5. I was trying to find a description that I remembered, but I didn't have. But then I forgot. What I was looking for. Right, a folk tale. The Trapped Fairy. Once upon a time, there was a little fairy who loved gazing at her own reflection in the water. She lost track of the time, and thus day turned into night. Nyx, goddess of night, noticed the little fairy. The moon was shining bright, but the fairy only had eyes for herself. Nyx took offense and decided to punish the little fairy. Nyx placed the fairy into a nightfall and cast a spell on her. She fell in love with the moon and gazed upon the sky all night. As dawn approached and the sun arose, the spell broke, though just as the fairy awoke from her enchantment, the flower bud closed and trapped the fairy for eternity. My dear Nova, never forgotten. Dead cat. But that's not a clue, right? Yeah. So I already know that I have to like figure out what type of sunset it needs. I don't need all this extra like story stuff to tell me that I need it to be nighttime for the plant to grow. All right, my dearest friend, it seems our interest in visiting the private plant collection of Lord Spencer has gone unacknowledged. While disappointing, I am not sure it is worth pursuing scientific study in such places. On my recent visit to Brinsby, the young man showing us around had barely a basic knowledge of plants, and due to there being a large group of gentlemen in the party, all useful time and erudition was devoted to them, and not given to Constance and I. Let us plan another trip of our own. Perhaps we can see these specimens in their home habitats where they belong. So what happened? Seems our interest in visiting private plant collection has gone acknowledged. I am sure. Okay, so they went to go see rare plants, and then the dude who had the plant collection didn't care about the plants. Tincture of red clover, chamomile, and red clover seems to soothe hot flashes. Essence of Anica flower for sprains, strains, and joint pains. So these are probably clues, right? No, they're not. Right, because everything's in the attic. There's a lot going on here. So one of these needs warm water. Or what does it need? Here, okay, so, well, some plumbers. Here is our quote to repair the geyser in your bathroom. The cost might seem high, but trust us, it is a complex job left best to the professionals. Installation of pipes. S14. Okay, I think that was just for the achievement of flushing the toilet. So, the bath geyser. Hot water at the turn of a tap. Provides a rapid flow of hot water. Simply turn the tap and instantly hot water will appear. It can be used multiple times in a row without any extra costs. Cool. So, I am not sure which one needs hot water. So I will keep going. Well, it's probably the Rook Chalice, but nothing else suggests that it needs warm water. Nor is anything telling me a temperature. Alright, let's see. The Flower Growing Companion, an illustrated monthly journal. Gardening curiosities, trapped moths. Sometimes a moth can become trapped inside a flower bud if it closes in the morning, like the fairy, okay? The moth is then forced to use the flower bud as a resting place until it opens again later. Forced, that seems like a kind of a nice place to rest. If you're trapped in the flower, nothing can get you and eat you while you're sleeping in the day. Some flowers only bloom for short periods during the year, so if the moth is unlucky, the flower bud won't open again until many months later. Ah, so this is a clue about the nightshade. That's less fortunate. Trapped moths. Moth calendar. That's a clue. And that's a clue. Now I just need to know what kind of moth. Or maybe the fairy painting will tell me what kind of moth. Garden tiger moth. September. Yeah, it's September only. Let me write that down. September moth. Okay, so I probably need to put this in the bath with the plant then. The sight of plants. Some scientists have theorized that plants have photoreceptors with their leaves and stems, which allow them to see the color of light. So that's the last clue for that plant. That means flowers can tell the time of day and know when to open or close their buds. The exact time that flowers bloom is different for each flower, but most do appear to respond to light and the color of light in some way. Horticulturalists and botanists have made use of this knowledge to trick difficult flowers into blooming anytime they like. So that's the last clue for this one. And then that one. So that's where I get this one going. Where's the seed? Packet. Oh, there's another duck. A mallard duck. Alright. My dear niece, the fellow window may be closing for you to find a suitable husband. I have arranged a dinner for you to meet my neighbor's son Edward. He is successful in business in London. Your cousins William and Thomas may well aspire to become accomplished scientists, but for you, Arabella, it is better to make yourself useful in small duties for life, which you will be loved and appreciated. Your studious nature will no doubt be valuable should you have a son, But it would be foolish to allow such a folly to come before the important things in life. I'm confident this is what your parents would have wanted. Dinner will be from 5 o'clock on Sunday. Remember to wear a becoming dress. Aunt Agnes. SMH. Let her do what she wants. The Botanist's Digest, a monthly journal of botanical reviews. This month, in conservation with Professor Montague, the leading expert in British meadow orchids. In his words, every plant, every leaf, and every meadow holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. My aim is to simply uncover some of those mysteries. Professor John Montague, renowned botanist, shed light on his groundbreaking work in the world of meadow orchids and other botanical wonders. With decades of research and numerous publications to his name, Professor Montague's contributions to the field have been nothing short of revolutionary, including discoveries of new species as the Dactylohosauria Montague or hood marsh orchid. Yeah, so we saw this earlier in the place we had to go to the through the priest hole. That they found it, and then our character was like, "Oh, that seems like it's a new species." So I don't know if they're trying to be like, "Oh, he took credit for us finding it was a new species," because the guy was just like, "Oh, I was testing you guys," because he was the one who presented it to them. So he was the one who found it, and we were the one who was like, we were the one in our journal who said we found the new species. All right. Let's go. I finished all of the clues, right? Yes. So oh wait, I need my little pig. I need the iron pig for the bathtub. Let's do that while I'm here. Alright. Leave it to the professionals. Ha! I am the professional here. Alright, who needs a plumber? Exactly. Where's the plant growing station? Here it is. So let's grab a pot. Which one is it? Oh wait, I need soil. Now which one is it? Brook chalice. I really like the little musical stings they have. I don't know what temperature to make it though. Let me actually see. I actually do have that information. I was like, I don't have the information. What river is it? That's music. I wish I could like from Montague. Camera River of Somer. No wait, yeah, this is the one. River Form. Forme. River Form. 25 degrees Celsius. I just cooked my plant. I'm making iron and plant soup. There we go. Look at that. Well, I can't take this out of the bathtub now. It's stuck in there. I just have I can't. I need to get a new bathroom. Alright. So now I have to go all the way back to the library to see what colors I need for September. The brook chalice prefers to grow in rivers at temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. The plant naturally filters the water from rust and metal. Unfortunately, they get removed often as most people prefer their ponds to be weed-free. So, September in Grandma's vault. That's at October. April. August. September. Blue, yellow, orange, red. Let me also write that down. Blue, yellow, orange, red. Oh my god, what did I do? I pressed the index button. Yeah, so this is the last one. So we're on the last chapter after this. It has almost been an hour. Oops. But I think I can do it. I think we can do it. Fern, nightfall. A little cashew seed. And let's go up to the attic. Okay, boom. Blue, yellow, orange, and then red. So this magic lantern, okay. I don't see the point of why this thing exists other than to do this. It's a pretty flower. Nightfall. Alright. Let's see what it says. Seeing the nightfall bloom is a rare event. The flower only blooms with September sunsets. The night pollinators active in September, such as the garden tiger, often get trapped once the bud closes for the rest of the year. Nice. So we're done with this chapter. Correct? Yeah. We got mail! We got mail, guys! Let's go get the mail! Woo! New mail! This music is so upbeat. I like that the gatehouse delivery thing stays on the screen. Formal garden, and then I apologize wholeheartedly for accidentally taking the key to the formal garden home with me. It was in my pocket, and I had simply forgotten it was there. I didn't want to disturb your research, so I left the key in the basket for you. Here for you. Jimmy! Yo, Jimmy. How many plants are in this garden? Where is the formal garden? Here it is. Locked from the other side. That's not where it is. Is it up here? Nope. Where's the formal garden? Wait. I am lost. Is this it? Yeah. This is very nice. 3 new plants, okay. Oh, quail egg. Look at that. I can tell you that's a quail egg. There was a message. Local man reports mystery signal. A gentleman farmer has reported sightings of mysterious blinking lights coming from caves near his home in Cheddar. In his own words, I was walking my dog and lost track of time a little. It soon became dark and I decided to make the walk back home. On the way back to my house is a tiny cave, and as I walked by, I noticed a blinking light pattern cast from the cave entrance. I was sure it was one of those Morse code messages. When I approached the cave, the light source finished and nobody was there. I'm convinced that what I saw was the Morse code abbreviation for attention. I will never forget that abbreviation as it was the first message I learned in Morse code. Local authorities have assured the journalist that there have been no recent military activity or exercise in the area, so the mystery remains unsolved. So, we got a Morse code plant. The flower, okay, so, spring dance shrub. This flowering bud used to grow in the gardens, but I have completely disappeared. That was off of my travels. Okay. Fool's Emerald. A friend gifted me these seeds, so I don't know too much about them yet. A friend of mine found some seeds and was kind enough to let me use them for the herbarium. Oscillate. That's my guess. That's my guess, based on the name. And that's the end of the book. Alright. Let's see if we can do this very quickly. I thought these little marks were the seeds for a second. I was like, what the heck? Going on there? We got a very nice yard here. There's some key and then there's some candlelit room on the other side. Another seed over there. This is the Fool's Emerald. The little hazelnut seed. Good thing. Alright. The marvel of botulism or bioluminescence. Okay, so maybe it's the emerald that is the one that was flashing. In the darker corners of the world, there are plants and organisms that are able to produce their own light. These plants, fungi, and insects are most often found in areas of low light, such as dark forests, oceans, and gloomy caves. Recent discoveries show that the chemicals such as luciferin are responsible for its glowing effect. It is not known what glowing effect is used for, but it could be communication with others of the same species or attract pollinators for food. Scientists believe there are many bioluminescent species waiting to be discovered. Okay. Chemical compounds in wildflowers. Poppy, opium. Fool's Emerald, luciferin. Okay. So I was wrong. News article. There we go. Sincerest greetings. Dearest Arabella, I was delighted after our recent mentoring session. You do excellent work as a fellow scholar of the natural world. I recall the spring dance shrub that once grew in your garden before you departed on your travels. How wonderful. Kind of tired. But how wonderful would it be to see it growing again? I have been compiling plant specimens that require pollination to mature into their adult stage. I wonder if the spring dance shrub is one of these plants. Your ever affectionate friend, Livy Lina. Wait, okay, let me read this again. I've yawned and like everything went out of my head. I was delighted for this session. I recall spring dance shrub that grew in your garden before wonderful it be to see it growing on. I have been compiling plant specimens that require pollination to mature. Wonder if the spring dance shrub is one of these plants. Alright. Oh, and then there's the way to the front of the house. Let me unlock this door. I guess read this first. Mr. Bennett. Is this Jimmy? Oh, it is Jimmy. The telegraph you ordered arrived while you were at the farmer's market. They delivered it by boat. I left it at the boathouse since I didn't know where you'd like to keep it. There appears to be a Morse code manual inside the case as well. So, this one is at the boathouse, but this one is said to be bioluminescent. They're kind of crossing clues here, and I'm making me question my thinking. Sweet Hazel, what are you keeping well today? Jimmy's only gone and broken the law, or the lawnmower. Oh, geez, he broke the law. Jimmy broke the law. He's on the run. Um, Jimmy's only gone and broken the lawnmower again. If it weren't for my war injury, I wouldn't be letting him loose with the mower. He said he ran over some hard object down the long grass near the pond. I had a brief look and couldn't see anything. Sometimes I wonder about that boy's sensibilities. Save me some of your lovely scones, Mr. Bennett. Section 4, communication. So here's the Morse code thing. Over long distance, method of communication over long distances must be selected according to the requirements of the scenario. If a message contains no sensitive information or there is no enemy presence within a communication area, an open method of communication such as telegraphy may be used. If open communication is permissible, both receivers may still benefit from the abbreviation of messages. See plate 2 for a table of commonly used military abbreviations using telegraphy. Morse code. Closed communication methods rely more upon both technology and ingenuity. In the case of obfuscation, planning is required, and both parties must have knowledge of the method of encryption used. A brief history of long-range military communications. Ancient Greece, water telegraphy, and torch telegraphy. Ancient Rome, smoke signaling, beacons and pigeons, Murray, radiated telegraph. Okay. So which is the Morse code plant? Because we're going hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are beautiful flowers that contain anthocyanin, which is a pungent, which is a pigment that can change colors depending on the color of the pH level of the environment. The colors can vary between red and purple. That's very interesting. New materials for garden pots. Oh, so for one of them, probably this one, I have to worry about the pH of the soil, which last time I was talking about, I expected that to be the case for the entire game. I guess. Ooh, what? Okay. I don't get why I can interact with that. Alright. So this is the hyacinth. Yeah, so that's the hyacinth pH level. Wait, why do I need this? So granite and terracotta. I don't know what I'm putting in there. Dear Mr. Bennett, thank you so much for a bunch of lovely rhubarb from your nephew's garden. He needn't have sent anything in return for the herbal poultice I gave him for his little one, but I am grateful all the same. I know he has the money to fetch the doctor. Since you said he cannot read a note, please send him my thanks when you see him. Alright. Bro, I like rhubarb. Rhubarb is pretty good. My grandma was growing rhubarb and I had some, and my dad was like, be careful, or it'll give you diarrhea. Give you too much. Alright, highest quality, hygienically blended, mixed seed for garden birds. attract a host of garden birds such as bluebirds, finches, robins, and warblers with this seed prepared at the highest quality levels. Simply spread the seeds on an appropriate bird table or feeding surface and observe the delight. Oops, no, I want to put it down. Ah. There's hooks around here. Well, I think I would want to put it here next to the plant. And unless I kind of like bring the bird by going like one after another, so then I just lead it by chaining the two bird feeders. So attracting birds with color. Just like bees, birds can pollinate flowers, but did you know that the birds have a preference to pollinate flowers of certain colors? The above chart shows which color flowers attract birds. Telegraph, bird poster, bird seeds, soil pH, pigment research, pot catalog, and hydrangeas. Then look at that. I guess I could do that one. So what type of bird is this? This is a robin, right? It is a robin. So a robin likes the color red. And there's the cuckoo bird. And I think I called it the right thing this time. All right. The robin likes red. So it's the pH research. What pH do I need for red? 14 to 12 to 14. So Eric, or granite with coffee. No, sandstone with seaweed is the only one that gets me from 12 to 14. Sandstone. Oh, do I need to fill it with soil first? Yeah. Soil, which one am I doing? Sundance shrub. Spring dance, rather. Alright, and then let's make the plant red. Some seaweed. And then for some reason I have to bring it all the way here to pollinate it. So how do I get the robin over here? How do I do this? Okay. Just have to be slow and steady. Wins the race. Rabbit in the hair. Hello? Okay. Really taking your time here, mister. Get too close to him as to not scare him away. Where's the next one? I don't see the next one. I do not, and I also need to be careful not to get too close to him. I don't want to send him back to his nest. What is this? Dear Miss Green, I have recently heard of your involvement in the mentoring of aspiring botanists. Botany is a field that demands tough understanding of its complexities, and while I admire your dedication to the saying the blind leading the blind does come to mind, all just aside, I hope your endeavors in mentoring will yield some semblance of progress. Alright, is this the next one here? Yeah. Almost there. Can't mess up now. I have to start all the way over. I hope it doesn't take another hour to get it done. Because I could have then had another stream next weekend. Go! Oh my god, bro took so long. Nice. Oh, is it growing more? Whoa, nice. Looks like a rose bush. The springtime shrub contains anthocyanins, causing it to change color depending on the pH level of its environment. Robins love red flowers and will be attracted to the red variant of this shrub. Alright, so let's go to the boathouse, get this one. Where is the boathouse? Oh, I don't think I went down here yet. It's probably down here, the place that I didn't go. Whoa. That's very nice. Okay. Dearest cousin, whilst I hold a deep fascination for the purest of knowledge and science, or the pursuit rather, I must admit that the subject of spiritualism is not one that that particularly captivates me. Therefore, I must return this book to you. However, I appreciate your efforts in sharing your interest with me. The Will o' the Wisp, glowing spirit of marshes, forests, and caves. Oh, I left my humidifier on, and it's kind of running empty of water. I don't want to keep it running when it's empty. The Will o' the Wisp is an eerie apparition that has long been the subject of both fear and fascination. It makes its appearance to lost travelers in dark, isolated places and beckons them to follow with its beguiling, blinking light. Many a wanderer followed the wisp's alluring light across marshes or into caves, never to be seen again. Take heed Those who venture into dark places resist temptation of the will-o-wisp shimmering radiance. Turn back before it's too late. I wonder if that's going to relate to the blinking plant. Nice. It said art lover completed, like a little pop-up, but it didn't do like the actual achievement thing. For Epic Games. Oh, I can walk around the barricade. Where's the seed? There it is. So one of them seems to like... Well, no, we already had a music plant. One of them seems to want... I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh. How weeds spread. Weeds can take over an area quite rapidly. Some weeds have adapted in order to spread their seeds as far away as possible. The plant itself does not have much control over this, but trusts nature to lend a helping hand. Wood avens and goosegrass have seeds with a hook designed to attach to the fur of passing animals, then carried and dropped off several miles away, up to several miles away. Dandelions have seeds with an attached feathery puff that allows them to simply be carried by the wind to a faraway location. Other plants such as lords and ladies wrap their seeds in an attractive berry, which birds consume and then later deposit as waste a great distance away. A final, more mysterious example is the seed of the ocelot. It is known to be picked up by critters who then take it back to their nest. As soon as the animal goes to sleep, the seed sprouts into bloom. It is not quite understood how the plant is able to detect when the creature is asleep. Is that a real plant? Sleeping weed. Okay, that's the chair outside. Moles live underground and have poor vision. Find food matters. Not touch. Mice are very small and live in woodlands, but also many other habitats, including fields, parks, and meadows, and gardens. Red squirrels live in nests high up in the trees. They sometimes forage food back to the nest to keep for later. Gray squirrel, the North American gray squirrel, is larger than the red and with smaller ears and forages foods, but can also digest some seeds straight away. Hedgehog. Hedgehogs are protected from predators by their coat of needles. They live in burrows in both fields and woodland habitats. Rabbits live in many habitats and burrows underground. They come above ground to graze in the morning and evening. Acorns. Collect 3 acorns. Woodland card. Worm. Ocelot seed. Pine cone. Game's rules. Foraging critters. Game setup. Shuffle the food cards and place the stack face down in the center of the game board. Place the food tokens around the board or around the food cards on the board. Place the animals on the start line. Players choose their animal by rolling the dice. The highest roller chooses first. Playing the game. Take turns to roll the dice and move your animal along the wooded land path. The highest roll goes first. If you land on a food tile, pick up a food card. If your animal matches the card, you can collect the tokens specified on the food card. If you land on a gray squirrel tile, it steals all of your food tokens and they must return to the board. The player who has the most food tokens in their nest at the end of the game is the winner. Okay, why is there a gray squirrel card then? I guess that's not a player card. But it's got the same pattern. Nothing distinguishing it from that. animal husbandry and rehabilitation for work with all domesticated and wild animals. This BPM. Ah, so one of them, okay, so one of them is likes music, and one of them okay, so the Asillet is the one that listens to music. Animal heartbeats. Nope. I need board game rules. What else was there? So what? Which birds considered? I found a mysterious sample known picked up by critters who then take it back to their nest. So what critter takes this seed? Field card, Asillet seed. How do I know what animal matches the plant, though? If your animal matches the card, you can collect the tokens specified on the food card. What do you mean if it matches the card? It collects 0 tokens, so it's either... So then it's probably the hedgehog, right? Hedgehog, which has a BPM of 40 when it's asleep. 40 seconds, BPM 90. 50. Let's get that one, that's 40. Right? Nope, that's 100, and it's only 40 seconds long. 20 BPM. 50 BPM. What is this one? $90 BPM. 70 BPM. So it's not the hedgehog. Then what is it? Cars, weeds, and seeds. So it's picked up by cutters. Seed sprouts into bloom and is not quite understood how the plant is able to detect creatures asleep. Okay, so it's based on the heartbeat, and I need to play a song, and then whichever card matches. So if the card matches, it says if the card matches the seed. Like, you mean the shape? Like, literally... I'm gonna try the red squirrel, then. Because does it mean, like, the shape matches? So it's the red squirrel. 120. That's the one I have in there currently. Okay. That was not clear at all. Bro's gonna go to sleep and wake up wrapped in a vine. Well, we did it. The ocelot seed picked up by small animals such as the red squirrel, who then store it inside their nest. Once the animal falls asleep, the ocelot depends upon the heartbeat vibrations to break open and bloom. Also the note about telegraph, and then military codes. And then I think I have to grab this telegraph down here, right? I'm stuck holding it now. Another duck. Egyptian goose. So what is this way? Okay, saw this before. So I'm missing a clue. So what did it say? First of all, how the heck do I open this freaking telegraph? Oh. Short and long. So I think it was alert, right? Do I just need to type alert in Morse code on the thing then? Let's see. So this guy said, attention. Nope. Where's the freaking military Morse code? KA. So I need to find a Morse code chart. Military codes, not about telegraph. So I need to find like the Morse code chart to know what KA is. Seems to be my final clue. But I don't know where that would be. Will o' the wisps. I don't know where this Morse code chart would be. So KA. There it is. No, it's not. Dear Later Bill, thank you for your order. As discussed, we will write again in the coming months to inform you of the delivery date of these school supplies. All the best. Classroom desk. So I guess she's starting like a school. I'm just trying to find this last clue. I have no freaking idea where it could be. How How am I supposed to know what attention is? How am I supposed to know what KA is? There's nothing left. Alright, there's no clues that I haven't set yet. I'm trying to think of where it could be. I was here. There's just a chair. It's got to be in this area. There's no way. It's not going to be in a previous part of the house. Right, again, it's not here. Okay. Oh, that's a note from Jimmy. I think I have to. Is there? What am I missing? Where am I missing? Because I read that note. That's with the rhubarb. And that's back to the house. Right. Do I need something to fill up this? I would guess. I don't know what that is. I thought I kept talking about how good this game was done and stuff, but I guess it depends on where it actually ends up being. If I'm gonna get angry at it or not. But it's not very clear where this clue is. Okay, that was very hidden. So what does this do for me now? So it makes me a bridge. What? So I plant the Fool's Emerald in here, and then what? I need to play the friggin' Morse code. But I don't have the Morse code clue. I thought this was gonna give me the clue, but this isn't giving me anything. Is it on the box? If it's on the box, it should. If I picked it up, it should say that I found the clue. Because, yeah, it says nothing on here. Bro, I could have been finished with this game already. I need to go to the bathroom, bro. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It was on the lid and the lid was hidden. You're kidding me. So. Bro, that was it? Just back and forth? Oh my god. They really like in this last chapter, or these last two chapters, to have the plants just like grow ridiculously big. Well, I finished it. The Fool's Emerald is a vine that contains luciferin, which which allows it to create light. They grow in caves where they use the light to communicate with each other, very much like Morse code. And I finished that. Go to Gatehouse. This thing was very loud, this waterfall. So let's see how this game ends, shall we? Do we send off our herbarium? It's the wrong way. I'm here. Wow. Put it back in the package it was in when we got it. Nice. That was a nice ending. It wasn't anything. Oh wow. This one person did so much. That'll be me one day. Lore de May. I'll do that one day. No, this was a very nice game. I enjoy this. What? Yeah, I when I first read about it, I expected it, and I said this at the start of the last stream, but or not at the start, but during. But when I started this, I expected it to be more of like an educational game than it was a puzzle game, because excuse me, but yeah, when I read the description, it was like, oh, try to figure out, what growth conditions your plants need, and I'm like, oh, I've been looking at like growing plants or whatever for a while, and I'm like, or not for a while, but I've been looking into like growing plants and like, hey, I want to grow this plant. How do I grow it? And I was like, oh yeah, you need this specific soil that like drains this much, or like, this pH, and like I'm like, oh, or not, like it doesn't go specifically into you need this level of pH, but some of them do better. Oh, there's more. But yeah, some of them do better in different like acidities. So I left my door open and the birds came inside. Green School of Botany. So I did start the school. Lady Arabella Green, presented to by the Women's Education Union on the occasion of her opening her school. Very nice. Oh, in the house. And it's her herbarium. Typical. You're teaching class and have your students buy your book. Teacher, Lady Arabella Green. I forgot that her last name was Green. I was like, I saw the last name Green, and I'm like, I'm Arabella. Or I'm not Green. One of the rare apples. My dear Flora, I'm terribly sorry your herbarium didn't get picked up for publishing. Though I am most excited about your new plans to turn Botany Manor into a Botany Academy. I look forward to visiting the school and meeting the talented students you have taken under your wing. Let's hope they carry on our fight. Lots of love, Elizabeth. P.S. Arabella, I hope you don't mind me still calling you by your childhood pet name. I see. Forgotten Flora. Oh, the book got rejected. But we got our... Nice. See, all of them have an herbarium. Very nice. Now what happens? What happens now? Okay, it's the windmill. Man, this just makes me want to work on my own game a bit more. Like, is there anything else? Or am I just here until I decide to quit? Because this is kind of... But yeah, anyways. What else did I have to say about this game? Wait, no. There we go. The end. Very nice. Good ending. I like that. But yeah. I thought it would be more educational, but I didn't expect it to be so much of a puzzle game, but I do enjoy the puzzle game. It was a very nice puzzle game. I did get stuck at the very end there, and I probably would have been stuck in the library with the fables if someone in chat wasn't helping me, but I did get very stuck at the end there and kind of frustrated with like, bro, why isn't it doing this? Yeah. What else do I have to say about this game? I thought it was nice. I really enjoyed it. Puzzles were pretty easy. It wasn't like in your face, and I think it was a good level of like obvious, but not too like obvious and not too like hard to figure out. At least for me, because you know, if you were watching me, I was just like picking up the clues and I'm like, oh my god, this links to this, and then I was just putting it together. I'd read it and be like, oh wait, this is how it is then. Like, oh, so this is what happens. And I don't know if I was just like figuring it out. I feel like sometimes I kind of just jumped to conclusions and my conclusion I jumped to was the answer. So I don't know if that was a shared experience. But yeah, this was a nice simple game. I wonder how long it took them to make this, because it was like there was a lot to it, but it was also like very simple. Right, and I wonder how they focused their time in the development. But very nice, very awesome. Makes me want to work on my own games better, like more, and put more effort and work into my games I'm currently working on and try to get them out as soon as I can, though it does take time, and I am working on these alone for the most part. I do have artists helping me, but other than that, but I'm like managing the artists too, on top of my own work. So it does take time and effort, and then recently I've been really busy hanging out with people a lot, you guys don't need to hear about my life. You don't need to hear about what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm glad you. Well, there was someone here. It looks like they left, but if you're here watching the VOD, thanks for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed me enough to watch through this. Um, Next week I might be back with Greece. I'm not sure. I need to see what the weekend holds. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.